Hello and welcome to Retro Cars Reborn. I'm Lee, and in today's episode we're going to be having a look at assessing some of the rust that I found on my Mk2 Escort. So let's jump right into it. Right then, the Escort, and I must point out, I'm really ill. Ugh, I can hardly breathe. So I've got my heater on to keep me nice and warm. Try and not make my cold get any worse. But yeah, the Escort. So I want to address a few issues on it. Now I'm pretty sure when this car was in its original form, it, as you can see, here, look, there's a plate. I'm pretty sure this had square headlamps in. So this front actual valance is for a square headlamped Escort, which is why they've riveted these pieces of metal in, so you can put your round headlight bowl in. The other thing is I'm pretty sure, there, look, that seam is where it's been and had some welding, so it's had this, like, probably this entire front piece chopped off and welded in. But also the chassis rail wants a good looking at, because I think it's totally foobarred. But seeing as this no longer has to have an MOT, no one's going to be looking at it. I mean, I could take it for an MOT, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to do that. I can look after it myself. So we're going to have a good look underneath, and we're going to have a look at that chassis rail, and also where the subframe bolts to the chassis rails as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get it up in the air, and we'll have a look underneath it. So I've got the two axle stands underneath there now, and I mean, as you can see, look, just looking at the cross member, subframe, whatever you want to call it, it is in terrible condition. It's almost like it's so rotted that when you jack it up it bends. But yeah, that's what I need to look at there, look. This here, it's literally like the chassis leg has literally just rotted away to the point of no return. So I'm going to whip the wheel off, I'm going to get the drill out, and we are going to buzz back all of the sealant and everything in this area, so we can have a good look at what the hell that is. I mean, just look at it. What is it? What even is that? It's all like, is that weld there? Maybe. But where's the chassis gone? But literally, where has the chassis gone? And this was all silicone that I've pulled out. It is, what the fuck? For what I paid for this Escort, this Mark II, I could have bought 2 of the laser capris, and this is what I've got when you actually have a good proper look at it. So I don't know what to do at the minute. Let's wire wheel it and actually see what's here. So it just seems to get worse, because that isn't even attached there, it's just literally two bits of metal that are just floating about. What's supposed to be like looks solid is just slowly getting thinner and thinner the more you wire wheel it. I've moved into more of the silicon look, finding more chunks of the silicon. This piece here doesn't even seem attached to the actual body of the car. It just you can get the scraper behind it. Yeah, it's not getting any better. Well, I'm gonna stop looking any further because one, it's depressing. But what I can see so far is this here, that there, is the original chassis, which then completely disappears. And this is a plate that's been put to run along it. It's then been folded up across this side and welded and welded and welded all the way down. And they didn't bother here for some bizarre reason. I'm guessing because it might have had a ledge here to start with, so they thought that's how it went. But I'm pretty sure that's the actual inner wing bit. Maybe. It's really hard to tell at this point. That there is the cross member, or what's left of it. So I'm surprised this car even drove in a straight line, let alone is actual straight in the first place, body panel wise. So I think I'm going to have to just forget I've got a Mk2 Escort for a while, because this is gonna, this is worse than the 2.8. This is worse than the 2.8 injection by far. I've never seen anything like this. This bodged to this level to be kept alive. It's ridiculous. Well, it's hard to stop once you start, and this is the sill end, the inner panel, what's supposed to be the wing, and so far it's just all dirt and absolutely massive clumps of just silicon and, well, black underseal and bits. I don't think there's much car here. I'm pretty sure the wing would just fall off in about 2 minutes time. As you can also see, the fake RS bumper has been put on amazingly. Literally, they screwed it from the outside inwards, and half the screws, look, just pop straight out. Literally pulled on it and it literally is just falling straight off. Dead good. I'll probably sell this anyway. So it is off. There it is, in all of its glory. But what's underneath it? Yes, exactly. What is underneath it? as you can see, it is the worst. Like, the whole front end of the car is, I mean, you can't see that from the inside because that was just a ginormous piece of just rubberized sealant, but the whole front of the car's cracked. Like, you can see it's been whacked straight, totally bent upwards. It has been absolute. Look how thick the filler is here. I don't think I can get the screwdriver underneath it. The front of the car just. There we go. That's got it. Let's see how far it goes up. Oh my god. It's the whole front of the car. What is it with me? I'm buying cars made out of filler. Look at it. Oh my god. My beautiful Escort. Oh, just really, oh my god. Look at it. There's just nothing left of the front end. All that's just filler, it just keeps going. Look at it, Jesus fucking Christ. Look at that. I don't know if it'll crack. But there's nothing there. Oh my god. I think what I'll do is I'll whip this corner bumper off and we'll be able to see the extent of what's behind it. So with the quarter bumper out of the way, is it any better? No. I mean, what is that? What is that? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like, why? Why bodge it this much? It would have been easier to just fix it. So I chipped some more away just to get a feel of how crushed in it was. You can just see there, look. I also just decided I'd slice straight through here just to see how bad the wing actually is, and basically it just started to fall apart immediately. Look, like the wing isn't even attached. So I'm going to pull on it and see what happens. So yeah, so far it's pretty much what I expected to find. Which is terrible. The chassis this side though does go to show you that it should have that gap there, and that also where the chassis ends is also how it's supposed to be. And I've also looked at the repair panels for the chassis rail itself, and that's how Ford made it. They literally stopped the chassis at that little tiny slit there, and they continued it on the inside of the car, which is why you can see the chassis rail on the inside, look, runs all the way down the inside, because they only put it on the inside of the bulkhead. They didn't actually put any chassis rail on on this outside, it's actually this actual part of the inner wing that makes this side of the chassis rail up, which has kind of helped me a little bit, because I really did think it was doomed chassis leg wise, but it would seem that the entire chassis leg is still okay. But yeah, it's definitely going to want two wings, A-pillars with the looks of it. This inner pillar, because you can clearly see there, that's all random welding. I don't know about the floor. I'll have a look at that shortly. But yeah, I'll end the video there now, and we'll take this wing off completely, because the rail itself is in pretty good nick, so it's going to need spot welding off there. But we'll take the rail off. Well, I say we'll take the rail off. We'll take the top of the wing off. We'll take the wing off completely, and we'll see what the see what this is like underneath. It's looking a bit more solid than I thought it was going to be, which helps, because I didn't want to have to take as much off this as I did with the 2.8. And once I've got my gas and welder sorted back out, we'll get back on the 2.8. I'm going to make it so even if I take the wings and the front end off this, I can still drive it about and it's still movable. So we shall see what happens. So yeah, I've been Lee. This has been Retro Cars Reborn. It's been a bit of a depressing episode for me, especially thinking that my Escort was in a lot better condition than that. But you know, this is old Ford's game, unfortunately. I'll see you in the next episode. Remember to subscribe, comment, and leave a like. Share the video if you must. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode.